From M123 FM and the EUP Sports Network, Dan Hardeman, glad to have you along. Welcome in to our 2021 All-UP Selection Show. The members of the Upper Peninsula Sportswriters and Sportscasters met in Marquette last week for their 72nd annual All-UP football meeting, selecting the best players from the best teams around the Upper Peninsula in 11-man and 8-man football. A great season for the 8-man football teams, especially here in the Eastern UP, and several players getting selected for positions on this year's All-UP football team. The 16-member voting panel for 8-man football dove through and picked the best of the best. A dream team on offense and defense, a first team on offense and defense. That means these are the top 35 players anywhere in the UP in 8-man football. Before we get to this year's awards list, I want to mention our special awards from the 8-man season. The All-UP Awards for 8-man football, a clean sweep from the West End's top team. The North Central Jets voted 8-player Team of the Year. They also win Coach of the Year, Leo Gorzinski of North Central, leading the Jets to another state finals appearance this year. The Offensive Player of the Year was their quarterback. That's Luke Gorzinski, the junior, had an unbelievable season as well. And defensive lineman Wyatt Robb is the Defensive Player of the Year. Robb just edged Newberry's Johnny Nutkins, who was the runner-up for the Defensive Player of the Year in the Upper Peninsula. And the Mitchell Snyder Lineman of the Year award also goes to North Central. That is senior Lane Naring. So the Jets, a clean sweep in the special awards category, but they did not take all the selections for this year's UP Dream Team. Here are your Eastern UP players and their selections to this year's 2021 UP Sportswriters and Sportscasters All-UP football team. We start on the Dream Team, where our first EUP selection comes in at running back. A senior from the Pickford Panthers, Josh Sullivan. Congratulations to Josh. He is a Dream Team running back for this year's All-UP 8-man team. At wide receiver, a senior from the Newberry Indians, earning a Dream Team selection this year, is Eric Edwards. The tight end wide receiver hybrid caught 14 touchdown passes in his senior season to help lead the Indians to the regional final. Rudyard senior quarterback E.J. Suggett. They nearly pulled the upset this past weekend over Sutton's Bay. And how about the Bulldogs? Senior leader Suggett, playing injured for most of the season, was named to the Dream Team as the offensive athlete hybrid position player. His dual threat abilities landing E.J. Suggett on this year's Dream Team for 8-man football on offense. We head to the defensive side of the ball, where Munising junior Micaiah Paramaki is an All-UP selection. At defensive end, Micaiah, one of the top defensive linemen in the UP this season. At linebacker, Newberry senior Johnny Nutkins. Mentioned Nutkins was the runner-up in voting for UP Defensive Player of the Year as well. Nutkins nearly a unanimous selection as a Dream Team linebacker. Congratulations to Johnny Nutkins on his Dream Team selection. Another Rudyard Bulldog winding up on the Dream Team for defense. That is at defensive back, where the big fella, Tate Besteman, who ruled over the secondary, also played some linebacker and defensive end. His versatility earns Tate a selection as a Dream Team defensive back. Those are the top of the top 16 players in 8-man football. Congratulations to those players on their Dream Team selections. Quite a few Eastern UP players also getting first team All-UP selections, maybe just missing out on the Dream Team, but still recognized as some of the best players anywhere in the Upper Peninsula. On the offensive line for the 8-player first team All-UP, it is the senior from Pickford, Big George Eddington. Congratulations, George, the latest Eddington to earn an All-UP selection. At quarterback, the first team All-UP QB this year is from the East. 25 touchdowns, just 2 interceptions, over 2,000 total yards. Connor Ridimaki from Newberry, the Indian senior quarterback, earns the All-UP selection spot in the 8-player first team group. At wide receiver, 6'5", a tough target to defend, Munising's Jesse Duran is an all-UP first team selection as well. And the offensive athlete hybrid position for the first team comes from the Superior Central Cougars with over 1,700 yards. Kyle Frusti represented the Cougars very well this year out of the Great Lakes 8 East Division. Defensive players for the first team. 8-man selections include junior defensive end Braden Altoft. Braden was also an honorable mention on the offensive side of the ball. First team All-UP selection for Newberry junior Zach Burton, who had over 100 total tackles, 4 sacks, a couple of forced fumbles, and some fumble recoveries. A great year for Burton, who played 4 games this season with a broken hand. Did not let that slow him down. Zach Burton, congratulations. First team All-UP at defensive lineman. Munising's Jacob Matson, a junior, earns a linebacker selection on the All-UP first team as well. And in the defensive secondary, first team All-UP selection for Newberry junior Marco Juarez, the Indians junior, also earning an honorable mention on the offensive side of the ball. Kickers getting some love too from the Eastern UP. The specialist and the first team All-UP kicker is Jacob Nolan, the soccer player who co-ops out of the Sioux, kicks field goals and extra points for the Bulldogs. Nolan earned the first team All-UP kicker selection as well. Punter for the first team All-UP goes to Ben Molag of Superior Central. So the Cougars getting their second All-UP selection. On the return team, the kick return specialist for this year's All-UP team was the only freshman selected in the entire Upper Peninsula for either 8 or 11 man. That is Newberry's Matthew Rahali, the kick return specialist, All-UP first team selection. Congratulations to Matthew Rahali, this year's only freshman selected to the All-UP teams. Several different players across the Eastern UP also just missed the list and earned honorable mention or special mention selections. We start on the offensive line. Engadine senior Drew French, an honorable mention. A special mention for Ashton Weimer of Munising. At quarterback, an All-UP honorable mention selection for the senior from Pickford, Zach Harrison. At running back, we have a special mention All-UP selection for Cam Peterson of Rudyard, the 186-pound sophomore. Now, special mention award recipients were players who received at least 2 votes in the balloting, but did not receive enough to make one of the All-UP teams. Honorable mention for anybody with 2 votes or less. Mentioned Braden Altoft was an honorable mention on the offensive side as well at wide receiver. He's joined by Rudyard's Aiden Bickle, who's a special mention selection for the Bulldogs. On the defensive line, an honorable mention for Rudyard senior Ian Brady. Congratulations to Ian, and congratulations to the Bulldogs on their strong season this year. Special mention linebacker selection, our first pick from the Cedarville Detour Islanders, and the first official All-UP selection for the Islanders is junior linebacker Kaysen Smith, who makes a special mention as well. Bickle from the Bulldogs back on the defensive side. He was also a special mention at defensive back. Before we go, one more very special award going to an EUP football player. Each and every year, as part of their All-UP meetings in football and basketball, the UP Sportswriters and Sportscasters select a recipient for the Gill Courageous Athlete Award. The award is given to a student athlete who has demonstrated great courage in overcoming disabilities or other hardships in achieving athletic excellence. Hurd was a sportscaster and a Northern Michigan University Sports Information Director, is a member of the UP Sports Hall of Fame. This year's Gill Hurd Courageous Athlete Award for the Upper Peninsula goes to Newberry senior Johnny Nutkins. Congratulations to Johnny, an incredible comeback that saw him nearly paralyzed, breaking his back a year ago, coming back to not only lead his local hockey teams, but the football team as well. Nutkins was the Great Lakes 8 East Defensive Player of the Year, runner-up for the UP Defensive Player of the Year and a Dream Team selection this year. Congratulations to Johnny Nutkins, the 2021 recipient of the UP Sportswriters and Sportscasters Gill Courageous Athlete Award. Congratulations to all those players selected to the 2021 All UP football teams. You can check out the full list as well and continue to follow us for more information. To the players, coaches, teams, and the fans, thank you for a great football season from M123 FM and the EUP Sports Network.